Whoa. I know live streaming.
It's so stupid.
It was. It was.
We love you, Kiana, wherever you are, being mopey. All right. We're live. Check us out on Facebook Live if you really want to see where we're live.
The
at.
real
We'll
live
be really
action.
live on Facebook Live because my phone will die before we get on live.
Probably.
My phone will die before we die. All right.
What?
I don't know what that means.
I don't
Anyway,
either.
we're gonna go live. Catch us on Facebook Live on Facebook.
Talking Daughters of the Dragon, the 2006 comic series.
Certain POV. You'll be able to find us there.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. Bye.
Woo! Woo!
We had 2 viewers.
Oh, that's nice of them. I don't know how many viewers we have on Facebook Live right now, but hi guys, how are you?
Hi. Well, let's see.
Hope you're enjoying the night.
Let's go to the map. I hope you're enjoying the night. Belong to the night. Belong to the night. Make Baby Groot dance. Hans Martin wants us to make Baby Groot dance.
Oh, that is too much effort.
Yeah, I'm not going through all that.
Yeah,
man.
sorry, Hans. Not
gonna do it.
right now.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go. We might as well get started with the episode, right?
Sure. Why not?
Sure. Hey, Nerf Herders, I'm Addy Thomas.
And I am Ben Milton.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Certain Point of View. Today we are talking about Daughters of the Dragon, the 2006 comic. Reason being, so Daughters of the Dragon, it's Colleen Wing, Misty Knight. If you know those names but aren't sure of it, where they lie in terms of comics history, they are 2 members of the upcoming Defender series. They've been side characters that have played a pretty major part, actually, in both the Luke Cage series and Iron Fist series. So they've had their own spinoff where they work together as a crime-fighting duo. We're going to talk about a comic about that because we decided, hey, let's read some some stuff like Heroes for Hire and some of the characters that are in this upcoming Defender series, which we are psyched for.
Super psyched for.
Right. So before we get to that, don't forget you can check out our website, all our social media, everything that we do. You can follow on certainpov.com. You can find all of that again on the Connect page, certainpov.com. All right, so Daughters of the Dragon. So here's the thing. So Defenders, totally excited for. I mean, yeah, I am.
I'm very excited about it. I'm
despite Iron Fist,
curious to see what they do with Iron Fist to kind of
I've read
retcon that.
I've read some interesting spoiler-free reviews, and they've just kind of embraced how
shitty he is.
Yeah, how dumb he is, and they just all make fun of him.
Okay.
So it's a way to do it. Like,
really the right way to do it.
They're kind of making him the Millhouse of the Defenders.
Which is really the only solution you have.
Right.
Like, you've already established he's not a badass.
Exactly. So, and this could be the process to bring that out. So, because
his suffering.
Right. Exactly. We can find joy in that suffering.
I like it. I'm fine with that.
But I've heard that they've got some great chemistry, like the first Avengers movie type chemistry. It takes a little while to kind of bring them together.
Okay.
But
which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't had a lot of interaction.
But there's also fewer episodes than we've had for any of the other series.
Only 8.
Exactly.
Which is perfect to tell a good story.
Which makes our marathon far more achievable too.
I like the way you're going with this.
Right? So our marathon on the Friday that it
Join
opens.
us. We'll be live streaming, I'm sure, at some point during that marathon.
Yeah, you know what we'll do is we'll stream in between each episode with very brief spoiler-free
thoughts,
review, like very 5-minute reviews.
We're gonna be like super excited, or we might have one of us hang themselves.
Yeah, or you'll be skeptical. Like that's sometimes you at different types.
It takes me a while to process.
Yeah.
As I get
I'm the more optimistic one. I'm like, oh, that was awesome. Even if like a whole episode is bad, but you give me like 5 minutes of good, I'll be like, yeah, that was amazing.
It was worth it. I really like how the character developed.
Yeah, right.
You're such a shill. All right.
I'm the Hope Lantern and you're the Rage Lantern.
It's so true. It is so true. If anybody wants to make us lantern rings at some point,
we can actually buy some.
Yeah, but if anybody wants to make us lantern rings, I think that's what I'm trying to get
like
at,
$10.
Yeah, but I want them to look nice.
They look pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
See,
the problem wants to make
you know what?
some
Actually, no.
lantern rings.
The only reason that's weird is if we both start wearing rings.
Looks like
at
we're
the same
married?
time. Yeah, I don't know
even
how
wear
I
a
feel.
wedding ring. That's a good point.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Jenny asked me about that the other night.
It'd be really weird if I'm like, you and I are wearing a ring as partners.
And I won't wear my wedding ring.
Yeah. Let's pass on that. I like you, but not that much.
Me a ring.
Yeah, there you go.
Addy can buy his $10 plastic ring.
It's metal, stainless steel, man.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Anyway,
Coated.
Right. So we are talking the Daughters of the Dragon comic. The reason is, obviously with the Defenders coming up, we decided, hey, let's start reading some of these comic series as we come close to some of these major sort of like hallmark events in terms of comics, movies,
what they're
and
actually
TV
based
shows.
on and
Exactly.
influenced by, so that we have a better recognition of
who these characters are.
Who the characters are and the stories that they're telling, and that we're not just misremembering it and going like, oh yeah, I think they pretty much nailed it, and they were way off.
Well, and the other thing is that also, we are, obviously a nerd podcast, and we haven't gotten to do a whole lot of comics shows. Like, we've done some Star Wars comics here and there, but we haven't really done anything outside of that. And I think it'll be a fun experience because maybe we'll even post on our website, hey, with the schedule of these movies coming up, we're going to read these comics. So it'll give you a chance to also catch up on it. Yeah, and so that these discussions are a little bit more interesting. Or you could just treat them as a potential, spoiler-filled review if you want to check out these series.
Although I don't have a feeling that this is going to have anything to do with the upcoming Defenders show.
No, but it's still interesting to kind of get to know these characters in different incarnations.
Yes, for sure, but this is not one of those.
Oh, this is absolutely in another direction.
Yeah.
So let's get to it. So this Defenders series, it's a 6-issue miniseries. I believe it was still ongoing with the main Heroes for Hire run. So Heroes for Hire is sort of what the Defenders are. The Defenders are actually a totally different superhero group within the Marvel Universe. Like, I think Doctor Strange, Namor, and Hulk actually founded that group. So, but Marvel Netflix decided to use the Defenders name for the Marvel street crime, side of things. And the Heroes for Hire are a little bit more blaxploitation, kung fu. They go for, like, they really embrace those roots. Whereas Marvel Netflix, while it has those elements, is a little bit more grounded in comparison.
Right.
So along with that, they decided probably Defenders is a better name than Heroes for Hire. I still want a Heroes for Hire.
I think we could actually still get a Heroes Hire.
That's true. I guess it's possible. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I guess with Jessica Jones as a PI, it does lend itself to it. So
yeah, I think you still have it.
I mean, they're full service. You got a lawyer now to add to Heroes for Hire now.
Sounds so dirty when you say it that way.
Right? Well, I mean, I just did read the Daughters of the Dragon comic, which is...
Oh, boy.
We
can just get into it now?
Yeah, so you would never call us the kind of people who are, like, we're not really shy about, like, content. Like, we're fine with violence and sex in plenty of the shows. And,
I prefer it.
Yeah. This show, this comic was pretty, like, felt exploitative in a way that
I didn't enjoy.
Yeah. Tell me your thoughts.
Exploitive is the right word, where it's over-sexualized in a way where, like, I mean, you're used to, in comic books, everybody having an amazing body, everybody being in, like, really, like, peak physical condition and being hot, men and women, all wearing spandex and fairly revealing outfits, especially
it's sort of a natural byproduct of it, and they're the idealized humans too.
Right.
So it makes sense for that to happen.
And I don't mind that, like, and the fact that it stems out of, like, mythology and stuff like that, and these are our gods and stuff like that. I get that, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind that. However, this took that idea and just hypersexualized it to a point where I was like, this is just distracting to the story.
Yeah, to have, like, nipples in every shot.
Yeah, I mean, apparently,
lots of tits all the time.
Yeah, this shouldn't have been called Daughters of the Dragon. It should have been called Nipples of the Dragon.
Like Hose of the Dragon.
Yeah, I mean,
Which, like, there's a lot, like, where, like, it... Like, there's a lot of like you're talking, there's a lot of impractical dress in terms of superhero comics, and a lot of comics for that matter. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like Rosita in The Walking Dead is a great example too of that sort of
booty shorts in the apocalypse doesn't make a lot of sense.
right.
As hot as it is.
Yeah, but you know, the funny thing here is it really feels like the way it's drawn, like they have bad posture because like their asses are just sticking out and their chests are sticking forward just to.
And it's apparently cold out.
Yeah,
because nipples are everywhere.
right.
It feels like everybody
behind every piece of cloth. Yeah,
and there's only one thin piece of cloth on each
I think they even mentioned
girls.
that they don't wear underwear at some point. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, it's like okay, is that and there you go. So not only is it drawn that way, but then throughout the series, it's written that way too.
Yeah,
like there's like a kind of like a weird sexual tension between the two.
Yeah,
where it's kind of implied that they're hooking up.
Right.
And then there's like all sorts of sexual innuendo and comments between them and
the villain. And
it's just like, I mean, I don't mind that, but it was weird and like it was just so overdone.
Yeah,
it was fetishized. Like I felt like these women were fetishized.
It went to the point of taking away from a lot of the few positives that there were in the story. Yeah, took away from it. So there, like in one case, I believe it was at the end of either issue 3 or 4. There's a little bit of like tension between Colleen Wing and Misty Knight. Yep. As far as like sort of a vendetta and sort of like Misty Knight is a very bitter character. That's always been kind of part of her backstory.
Who she is, yeah.
Yeah, and Colleen Wing's is definitely more zen. So there's actually some very like decent content that like
in that moment.
Yeah, where like in terms of analyzing who Misty Knight is and Wing trying to like reach out to her and use sort of some of her zen,
Eastern philosophy.
Yeah, philosophy to actually kind of help her a little bit. And I was like, oh, I actually like these. Like I might actually write these down. Like they're kind of nice,
Yeah, these are good. Yeah, it was a good moment.
Yeah, and then the very beginning of the next issue, so like Colleen Wing has like these really deep, great moments, and then they show her sparring with a really terrible character, a boring character called American Samurai.
Yep.
And like she's kind of getting beaten around by him while they're sparring, and she decides to flash him basically, to distract him and get the upper hand. And it was just like, wow, well, I'm glad you took away the little bit of dignity you had just earned. It
was a weird choice.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, we're taking these characters a little seriously, let's sex it up again.
Yeah,
it was a really strange choice, and I don't understand why. Like, the story has its problems to begin with.
Yeah, the villain isn't compelling.
Well, not only is the villain not compelling, but I don't understand how they automatically assume she's guilty.
Yeah, they jump to it pretty quick.
Right to it.
That I was a little bit more forgiving because I was definitely feeling
you were hoping it would end sooner.
That yes,
that's why, because it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I will say, like, in the same way that a lot of like those blaxploitation, like this felt like, so I was reading it like, okay, this is an episode, like another Rush Hour movie. Like that seems like the kind of plot
you have. A more Lethal Weapon with chicks.
Yeah. Well, it's the same. Yeah, same thing.
Same feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, but Lethal Weapon, Rush Hour,
early 80s or mid to late 80s Richard Donner film. Buddy cop feel to
which I love those kind of movies. So
but it doesn't age well.
No, it definitely doesn't. It definitely doesn't. I won't pretend that by any means. But it is refreshing every now and then when we have a good buddy cop story.
Yeah,
The Nice Guys was a good one, and this wasn't. And The Nice Guys is super dirty.
Yeah,
as well. Yeah. I mean, like a playboy, like there's a hooker is a main part of the story.
Right.
Yeah, this one though, it just a publishing magnate who has access to even the plot didn't make a whole lot of sense. Her plot didn't make a whole lot of sense. Like a chip that has a virus that'll destabilize economies. All right, that's pretty standard, but it was.
I don't understand where she got her adamantium blade at.
Yeah, like how did she all of a sudden a great fighter?
How did she acquire that?
Yeah.
How is she an amazing fighter that can hold her own against these two superhero fighting chicks?
Yeah.
Like there was a lot about that villain that didn't make a lot of sense.
Well, and also like where has she always been? Like they're talking about her being like almost Kingpin level.
Mm-hmm.
Like all right, like so first off, if you're almost Kingpin level, that means you actually need to scale down what she's doing. You know,
because she's pushing pretty hard.
yeah, like she's talking about destabilizing the entire world. And like destabilizing the entire world doesn't really mean she'll be able to be rich. Like they're talking about her moving to an island, but like what is she
the
gonna
dumbest plan ever?
Right, it doesn't make any sense. Like who is she gonna buy from?
Yeah,
like
so now she's like living on an island. The whole world is completely destabilized, and she's on this paradise island trapped.
yeah, like it actually is not a good plan.
Not a good idea at all for someone who's already massively wealthy.
Right.
Like all she's doing is destabilizing her own wealth.
Yeah. So
there's so much about this that when you hold it up to the light of day doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense.
And these were moments that like when they were explaining the plan, I immediately was like, wait, how is she going to be able to buy anything from anyone?
Yeah, she's going to starve on that island.
Right. Like, well, let's even say it's a lush island. They've got plenty of food.
You're going to get tired of coconuts.
Right? Like, how are they going to pay, like, wait staff and if they want to live a high life? And I was like, I
don't understand that plot at all.
Yeah,
I did not understand her plan. It was not well thought out.
No, not at all.
It was just
very generic, paint by the numbers on a lot of those.
On a lot of levels. However, there were some bright spots in this thing.
The villains.
The villains were amazing.
Like D and E tiered villains. Like
Humbug
Humbug had some funny moments.
Great moments. Orca.
Yes,
the stuff with Orca was hilarious.
And their secretary, Otis.
Otis is very funny.
Yeah.
Otis reminds me of the kid from Robot Chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like super fanboy.
Yep.
Nerdy.
And he's the short version of him. He happens to be, I guess he got in some sort of chemical accident that basically made him invulnerable. So that's the only reason he can really like hang out with everybody.
It's because nobody can actually hurt him.
Yeah, like he gets shot several times, and it's actually pretty funny to be honest. There's another moment that stands out. I will say Riccadonna, the villain, has an assistant, Julius, that I was like, oh, that has to be Sam
Jackson. Yeah, clearly modeled after Sam Jackson. But there was one point with Otis, though, when they're going, like, near the end, they're going for the bad guys, and he's undercover.
Yeah.
And he's just trying too hard
the
whole time. That's exactly how this entire series felt for me.
Yeah.
That it was just trying so hard to be cool and edgy. And maybe, what was this, 2005?
2006, yeah.
2006? Maybe in 2006, I guess it was cool. It doesn't feel like that long ago
so.
Where I would have been like, yeah, that's totally cool.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is
trying really hard to be cool and to be edgy and to be, these chicks are sexy and cool and
powerful,
powerful. But it just misses on all the beats, kind of like Otis does. Throughout his try.
And there are moments I enjoy. I did kind of enjoy the car bit at the very beginning and the very end.
Okay.
I did kind of like it was all right. It worked for me.
That felt good.
Yeah, like that felt very much like that's the kind of stuff I do. Enjoy from from a buddy cop series. Like it's a total Riggs and Murtaugh type of moment.
Very Riggs and Murtaugh. Yeah.
Yep. And again, like I do want to come back to the villains because there was a lot, like again, these like really like low tier villains. Was it Humbug? The Mad Juggler.
The Mad Juggler, Dr. Bong.
Yes, Dr. Bong. I mean, like these guys need to just write a series with these like really, really low tier villains. And there's actually a pretty good series. Maybe it's written by these guys, but it was the Superior. Was it Superior Spider-Man? It was a Sinister Six during the Superior Spider-Man era.
Yeah.
And it was just these really low tier villains who similar story. They're trying to get this heist.
They don't.
And they're like one guy is sort of like former big time, that's now having to like work, on a much lower level, and they like accidentally steal something, and now the mob is after them, and all sorts of stuff. And then there's this whole thing about this like mythical painting of Doctor Doom without his mask that they try to go after, and it's all sorts of crazy stuff. But it's legitimately fun.
Yeah. Yeah, they nailed the villains.
Yeah.
The villains were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
More fun than anything else in this entire comic. More fun than Colleen and Misty.
Yeah.
We found we were actually kind of tedious after a while.
Yeah. They had moments, but for the most part, they were so dry and uninteresting.
Yeah. They didn't really enjoy anything.
Yeah.
They were just like so mission oriented.
Yeah.
That they didn't really enjoy all their sexiness and
Yeah.
fun and stuff like that.
There were moments where it came out. I will say, well, let me ask you. So you obviously Punisher fan. What did you think of Punisher's appearance?
It was I enjoyed it because I am a Punisher fan. It was an interesting take on Punisher, a really dark take on Punisher, which at first I was like, whoa, that is dark. And then I was like, but it works.
Right?
It completely works in sort of the feel and the design of how this was all kind of like bigger than life, you know, kind of like a Tarantino-esque.
Yeah.
Kind of everything is just really big. You know, the sex is amped up, the violence is amped up, everything is amped up to 10. So Punisher is amped up to 10. And, you know, when you walk in and you see all the bodies hanging on the hooks and he's torturing people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. But
Yeah.
it's not like we've never seen that version
of Punisher,
before either. So
well, he was hanging. He had a whole bunch of guys up in the cold storage in Daredevil season 2.
Yeah.
We did find there was something that was a whole lot darker, much darker version of that played out.
Which is fine. I don't mind a dark Punisher. I mean, I like that out of my
Yeah,
Punisher.
I didn't mind the Colleen's moment when she kind of squealed about the comma that she got from him.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was a little, there's a little personality.
And a little fangirly, but
right.
okay, whatever.
The comment about like when she's looking at his chainsaws, it's like, I don't really think you have a lot of logging to do around Brooklyn.
Right. Yeah, you just walk through piles of bodies that this guy has killed. What do you think he's doing?
Well, but I thought that was
a funny
Yeah, I thought she
line.
was trying to be, you know,
Light
she was being facetious.
Yeah.
So
I guess.
Yeah.
I thought it was a kind of a dumb throwaway line, but
yeah.
I like Punisher in that. Not only did I like Punisher, but I like the fact that they like called in favors to all these different people in the New York crime universe.
Let's move on to another one, Mole Man. I kind of enjoyed Mole Man's appearance.
I did enjoy Mole Man's appearance too.
I never thought I'd say that.
It's a weird choice. And it worked.
Yeah.
It really worked.
It was a very interesting version of Mole Man.
It was just enough Mole Man to go, all right, nice. So that's what he's doing. That's what he's into.
Things are too crazy on the surface world. He's just happy where he is.
He's chill here.
Yeah.
He owes him a favor. They call it in. Done deal.
Flirts with him a little bit.
But I mean, that I didn't need.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't need that. I was like,
they already have done plenty of that with all these characters already.
Everybody flirts with them.
Yep.
You know, okay. We get it. They're hot. Like, we can tell by the drawing.
Right.
You know?
Then let's move on to the last one then. The big one, Iron Fist. He was used sparingly. How much of your opinion of Iron Fist right now is really hurt by the TV series, do you think?
Maybe 50%.
Yeah.
I thought he was used really well in this series.
Yeah.
And I liked the way he was used in this series. And why they used him in this series.
Yeah. Because it made sense for what the scale of what they were taking.
For what they needed an extra set of hands to help them.
Yeah.
Legitimately. And I liked how Colleen used him.
Yeah.
Not Colleen. Misty. I like how Misty used him to kind of get over herself. I thought it was I thought that was good. I thought that did breathe some humanity into Misty.
Yeah.
Because
you see, she's just a tough face most of the time.
Yeah. So I thought that was good, and how, you know, what Colleen said did kind of affect her a little bit, and, you know, ran her back to Iron Fist in a way. So
right.
I actually thought that was for the characters, the main characters. I thought that was really the high point for them, was that scene.
Well, you have any other thoughts on this? Your summary of this, recommend or not?
No, I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go that way too. And I can just tell you right now, like when we agreed to read this, Ben actually finished it first on Tuesday, or earlier than that, maybe.
No, it was on Tuesday.
It was on Tuesday. Yeah, I finished it just
15
not even
minutes
an hour.
ago.
Yeah, exactly. I was halfway through the second issue on Tuesday, and I wasn't really digging it. So
luckily, it's only a 6-issue arc, so you can read it if you want to. I mean, it's not going to kill you to read it. It doesn't add anything to the universe. It doesn't really add anything to the characters.
Yeah,
it's not a memorable story.
No, I'm more interested in getting a hold of the Heroes for Hire arc around that time, because I hear that's a whole lot better. But I need to kind of look at what are the good arcs, rather than just like, hey, we're going to read all of Heroes for Hire because it's a longer series. You know?
Right.
But I think what we're probably going to read next again, another Defenders series is actually Fearless Defenders, which I believe is a little bit longer. I want to say 18 issues.
That's fine.
So of course you're welcome to check it out. I want to say it's a 2013 series if you want to look for it. But Fearless Defenders, maybe 12 to 18 issues, something like that. But that's our next one up on our reading list if you want to check that out. Obviously, the actual Defenders on Netflix come out August 18th, a Friday. So just bear that in mind. We should have that episode out before then. But we'll wrap this episode up saying you could pass on.
Yeah,
on Daughters of the Dragon.
Don't go out of
the
your
2006 6-issue series. So let us know your thoughts. What stories are you interested in reading? Maybe we'll pick up something too. Outside of we're getting.
What would you like to hear us review?
Yeah. Maybe there are other comic series. Maybe there are other comics outside of Marvel and DC as well. Outside of those big two that we should read and have maybe a little bit of a book club type of series
cool.
that we could do. So let us know what you think or what you'd like to hear from us. Again, you can get in touch with us on our website, certainpov.com. Again, our website, certainpov.com. And until next week, stay scruffy, my nerf herders.